All right, live images coming to you from Delhi's Rajpath, leading all the way from India Gate to the Red Fort. These are images of many of the thousands of people who've assembled to watch the India's 68th Republic Day Parade. The Crown Prince of the United Arab Emirates is India's valued guest this cold morning here in the national capital. In a very short while from now, the Prime Minister will be paying a solemn tribute at the eternal flame of the soldier, the Amar Jawan Jyoti, a truly solemn place right under the iconic India Gate as well. With me, I've got a fantastic panel of military veterans who will be joining me right through our live coverage here on India Today of the Republic Day Parade, discussing the big messages from this year's Republic Day Parade and also the intricacies of how the parade really comes together and the messages that are really sent out. General Hasnain, you know, in a very short while from now, the Prime Minister will be at the Amar Jawan Jyoti. I'm sure all of you gentlemen, have been there many times in your careers as well. Having been there myself, it's, on occasions like this, it's very, very difficult to keep your emotions in check. It's probably the most solemn place I've seen in the country, the Amar Jawan Jyoti, especially since there are no names of soldiers. It's just one single flame about the unknown soldier. Take us through a little bit about, the history, General Hasnain, and also the significance of this flame that never stops burning.
Well, as Shiv, as you know, this is, first of all, India Gate is an iconic landmark in Delhi as it is. And it bears the names of 72,000 soldiers who actually died in World War I.
Yeah.
And it is to their honor that this memorial was put up at that time. Subsequently, of course, there has been a clamor for a national war memorial, and I'm sure things are now going ahead with this, with money having been earmarked for it, space having been earmarked for it. We don't hear too much progress, but that is taking place at the same time. But in the interim, the Amar Jawan Jyoti is an iconic landmark, again, as you said very correctly, keeping the eternal flame burning in memory of the unknown soldier. And the other symbolic thing which is there is the upturned rifle with the helmet, which is placed there, and everyone who comes there salutes very, very solemnly on the occasions there. It is a very important landmark also because lots and lots of citizens of the country who visit the capital come there. They see it happen. They may not be able to visit the Amar Jawan Jyoti itself, but they can see it from a distance, and there are people who guide them about it and let them know about it. Let me tell you, Shiv, I go around the nation speaking at different places, bringing national security to the fore, and there's a great interest today all over the country. I can tell you there is a very strong emotional connect that the people of India have with the armed forces of India. And the Amar Jawan Jyoti is that symbol which somehow connects the emotional cords of the nation with the armed forces.
Right, right. Absolutely. So there is a very emotional cord, connected to the Amar Jawan Jyoti. It's it's an image that you won't see anywhere else really in the country, certainly the world. And India has its share of martyrs. We have soldiers who make the supreme sacrifice every single year, if not every single month here, fighting terrorists in many parts of the country. And each one of those names, how many of us actually remember the names of even a handful of soldiers who've made the sacrifice for the country every single year? And that is not to take away from the emotional connect that General Hasnain just said the public has with the armed forces, but today is an occasion to actually connect, perhaps even in a deeper way for the public. And we'll be doing our bit here on India. Non-stop coverage of India's 68th Republic Day and the parade that will begin in a very short while from now from Delhi's Rajpath. I'm Shiv Arur. Joining me live here with us in the studio is a terrific lineup of former military officers who will take us through the proceedings right up to noon today from Delhi's Rajpath. These are live images coming to you from Delhi's Amar Jawan Jyoti at the India Gate. Let's just listen in.
There today for our tomorrow, ensuring that country came before self and courage before well-being.
राजपथ पर उत्सव का माहौल, भारत का 68वां गणतंत्र दिवस, अपार जनसमूह राजपथ के दोनों दिशाओं में अपने-अपने निर्धारित स्थान पर।
In a very short now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be at the Amar Jawan Jyoti to pay solemn tributes to India's martyrs. He'll be laying a wreath at the Amar Jawan Jyoti, the flame of the immortal soldier that is currently that is right under the iconic India Gate. The eternal flame burns at the Amar Jawan Jyoti to commemorate the indomitable courage of our armed forces personnel who've made the supreme sacrifice for their motherland. A reversed rifle standing on its barrel and crested by a soldier's helmet symbolizes the Amar Jawan, the immortal soldier. It is after the Prime Minister pays his solemn respects at the Amar Jawan Jyoti that the tricolour will be unfurled to commemorate India's 68th Republic Day, following which, for about 2 hours, there will be a spectacular parade rolling down Delhi's Rajpath, starting from the India Gate and continuing all the way down the iconic Rajpath till the Red Fort, the Lal Killa in Delhi. The India Gate Amar Jawan Jyoti, the flame of the eternal and immortal soldier. It's a beautiful location, very, very solemn and truly an emotional connect for India with those who've made the supreme sacrifice for their motherland. Commodore Rai, you know, it's very difficult for civilians sometimes. You know, I've covered defense for many years, but I always say it's impossible for someone who hasn't been in the military to fully understand. They may largely understand, but fully understand, you know, the idea of martyrdom, what men in the forces feel about the brothers that they've lost, you know, in conflict, in operations. So in that sense, sir, you know, give us your take on the significance of the Amar Jawan Jyoti for the military.
I think it's very significant. It is a poignant ceremony where we suddenly begin to think of all those who gave their tomorrows for our today. I think that is the greatest thing, because this parade starts with a wonderful Hindi word.
Yes.
Shraddhanjali. The Prime Minister of India goes there, and Lieutenant Colonel Satwinder Singh will be giving him a guard of honor. And when he reverses the arms, the reverse arms, the flame which you can see burning, for the whole country and all over the world possibly, they begin to think of the widows, the children who were left behind, because the rest of the parade is pageantry, gallantry, military might of India, the flying 27 aircraft. But this ceremony, I think, conveys a great message to all in the country that you must never forget the heroes who, for our today, gave up all their tomorrows. So I think, as far as I'm concerned, and I think the country is concerned, this is a very, very important ceremony where seldom we think really deeply, but on this particular day, when the Shraddhanjali is given, reverse arms, there are a couple of tears in many eyes in the country, especially among servicemen, because they know they lost their brethren, they know the widow who was left behind, and they know the children who are growing up. But all I'll say is the government has been very good. They always look after, and the armed forces look after their widows, their children. I think as India's economy improves, this is a great sign that the government